G'day everyone. Recently I've been contacted by a company called TourBox. They were asking me if I'd love to try, well, it's basically a tool that will enable you to sort of work quickly in Lightroom and also Photoshop. People that follow me for a while would know I have been using this thing called RPG keys, and I love this. Really made my life particularly faster in Lightroom and also Photoshop as well, but they've stopped supporting it and it no longer works in the latest versions of Photoshop CC or Lightroom, so it became a problem. So when TourBox contacted me about would I be interested in having a look at this tool, I thought, yep, fantastic, send it to me. I'll have a look at it, and I'm hoping that it really does solve some of the issues that I have. Now, I do use a Wacom tablet, but I really miss the things of, say, in Lightroom, being able to move between the images very quickly just by pressing a button or a number, and also doing things quickly like just adjusting exposure with dials instead of, say, using the mouse all the time, or you know, changing it with your actual pen. So this is the box that it comes in. So I just thought I'd quickly show you what's in the box because I haven't opened it yet. I do believe there's two colors of this though, so I'm not sure which one they've sent me, but so let me just open this up. So just in the box there's a quick little quick start guide here, and there's also a user manual. Like I said, I'll have to go through all this to see how it all works. Then there's a bit of foam which we've got through here. Now inside here, this is obviously the unit itself, so let me take it out. Feels quite hefty, like it feels very solid in your hand. So this is the device. I've obviously got the black one, which probably matches me because I have the black Wacom tablet as well, so I'm quite happy with that. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if it was the white one either. I suppose if you want to match, say, MacBook and all those other things, the white one may be the go. But there's lots of buttons on this. Like I said, I don't even know what this does yet, so I'm going to have to download the software and also then read the manual and everything else to it. Now, I think it connects via USB, which you'll see at the back. So let me just check what's in this box here. Yep, so that's just the cable. Yeah, it looks quite nice. So there's a bit of length in that one. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to connect it, and then we'll have a look at how the whole system works. Now that you've had a look at what's in the box, let me just take you to the website and I'll just show you a little bit about this device. So it is TourBox, and it's tourboxtech.com is the site that you can look at to purchase this, or if you want to look at it. Now it says it's a controller for Photoshop, Lightroom, Final Cut Pro, Premiere, and other image video processing software. Really all it needs is quick keys, and I'll show you that as we sort of go along how it works. And it just frees you up from the keyboard, and I found that's what I loved about it, and that's what I also loved about the RPG keys. And like I said, this is a great replacement that's out there. I do use it with my Wacom tablet as well, so it's used in combination with that. And you can see here it's efficient, accurate. Now you can see as you turn the dial here, you can manipulate the brush size and do other things as well. Like I said, I've only done an initial setup, so it's nowhere near set up complete yet, but I thought I'd show you how worthwhile this is, and then you could obviously, if you wanted to purchase it, then you could sort of convert it to your quick keys that you like using. So it's a very handy design tool. There's stacks of different things that I'll show you about it on this and how it works. Like I said, if you're looking at the box here, you can see that there's multiple controls. Like I said, at the moment I'm only using a few of them, and I probably will change it as I get used to using the muscle memory on this, because like I said, it takes time to set up for your own needs. But it seems like it's really good, and I've just done my first wedding edit with it in Lightroom, and it's certainly, even though I'm only starting to learn it, it improved my performance going through that substantially, so it's already working for me. You know, it's great. So it has this thing called customization system, which you can bring up a HUD, and I'll show you how that all works as well. So you can control everything about that box with all of these quick keys, and some of them are built in. Now you can set your own tags, and I've done that to start with to show you how that works. And it also has this console that I'll bring up as well that you can set. Now you just have that control from the top. When you open the software up, you can make up different consoles. So you could have one set up for Lightroom, you could have one set up for Photoshop, and you could also have one set up for Final Cut if you wanted to go that way. It also has this prompt system that I'll show you as well. Really great. And like I said, it can be used for photography, artists, animators and designers as well. And like I said, I'll leave the reviews, the links for this so you can have a look at how it all works. So let me just quit that and let me just take you through how this works. So the application is called TourBox. So you just connect it via USB and load the drivers. Once you've loaded the drivers, you do get this little box that's up the top that you can just see barely up the top up here. Now if I open that up, and you can see then I can show the D-pad's HUD. You can show a guide if you wanted to see that. There's tips, preferences. You can go to a forum and exit. If I click on the TourBox console, you can see straight away, let me just move this over. So you can see the console is actually here. Now this will tell you what's set. Like for instance, if I click onto this wheel over here, it will then take you to how that's set. If I click onto this one up here, which is the top button, you'll see that it's now set as picture, which is flag. I've got the side button along here and I've got that set for reject. And you can see what's happened here is I've already put the tags in so it knows what those tags are. If I click on the side over here, I can edit these tags and then you can see that I've got P, which is the shortcut for flag. And it's actually pick, but it puts a little flag there, so I've named that flag. Your command Z is undo, so I've set all those in there. Now you can add as many of those in as you like, and that's the great thing about this. You can see I've used paste settings, I've used move left, move right. So that's how that works. If you want to see what's set on this, you can just click on this button here. And that will bring up this little dialog box. So I'll close that and I'll just press it so you can see what's going on. Alright, so I just press that little dialog box right here. And then it will give you a guide about how these are all set. So if you do forget what's going on, you can just click on that. You can see that I've got, this isn't even set at this stage. I'm not even using these, but I will. But at this stage, I'm not. I just wanted to give you a quick guide of how this is set at the moment. So how I've set this is, the top one here is flagged. The side one there is on reject. This here will change my exposure settings or whatever my tool is set on, whether it's exposure, contrast, your whites, blacks, and everything else. Now I've set these underneath here to move up and down the HUD and of the Lightroom HUD, and I'll show you how that works as well. I've also set this to undo, and I've set this one to paste settings, so you'll see what will happen. Now I've even set paste settings here, that's undo, and that's paste settings on that side as well, just because if I'm quickly moving around that little dialog box, it works very, very quickly. Alright, so let's have a look at how this works. So all I have to do is make an initial selection. So just click on, say, exposure over here. Now you'll notice now that if I am now on exposure, the wheel controls what happens with that exposure. Now, just to move over or move up and down this little dialog box over here, all I have to do is, because I'm on exposure at the moment, if I press the down key, you'll see now it's got contrast. You'll see if I move down, I can click on the highlights. If I go into shadows, I can move shadows up and down, or whites as well. If I go back up to the top, I can then take the exposure down. Now, if I want to undo whatever I've done, all I can do is just click straight on here, and you'll notice that it will undo everything that I've done. So that's fantastic. Now, the other thing too is I can move quickly between images just by moving on these over here. If I want to go back, I can go that way as well. If I saw something that I liked, I can just press my pick button, which is this one. So that's put a flag on that one. If I wanted to reject it, I can just press the X or this side one just there, and that will reject it as well. So you can see how fast that this would start to work. Okay, so just to show you how I can paste settings as well, if I bring this up in exposure, then if I want to go to the next one, I could then just paste those settings in. You notice then immediately it took that settings from the last one I'd done. If I hit the undo button, it will undo it and then obviously move back. So it's incredibly powerful how this works. I just particularly like how I can just scroll through, pick my picks, do immediate fixes and move right along without having to use the keyboard or the mouse. And that to me is the best part about how this works. And like I said, this will speed up my Lightroom to no end, and that's what I've been looking for quite a while. So I'm really happy with how that works. So now let's have a look at how this will also work with Photoshop. Okay, so I've opened up Photoshop here. So I've opened Kiara up in Photoshop. Now you'll notice if I go up to the top now, I've now had to, if I open up the console, I've now had to select Photoshop from the console here. Before it was on Lightroom. Now again, you can tailor this exactly as you like. And like I said, I've only just started playing around with this. So I'm really going to tailor it to how I want to use it with different tools and everything else. But you'll sort of see at the moment if I go into the HUD here, you know, that I've just got basically a few of these buttons. The top one is my brush. The side one there is my hand tool, so I can move things around. I've got this little tool here to be zooming in and out. And I've also got these for undo and things like that. So I'll just sort of quickly show you how this works. Let me just close that as well. So if I wanted to say zoom the image up, I can just control this by moving this wheel here, and you're seeing how that's moving the image up and down. Now if the image was too big, I could then just click on this side, and then I've got the hand to be able to move that around as well, which is really nice the way that works. If I want to then say go for the brush, I can just click on here, and then this will then change the brush size. Bring up my brush size up and down, and if I say drew something, I can then just hit here to undo if I want to. Now you can do that in multiple steps as well, so if I hit it once and then go twice, it will undo it completely. If I use this, it will just bring another layer, so you notice it's just duplicating layers through here as well. Which is great as well. And I'm going to do things like merge existing layers and do all different things with this as well as I start to use it. But it's really is beautiful not to have to use it. Before I used to have to use the Wacom tablet, and now I can just be drawing with my pen, not worrying about having to use that other control, and I can just do everything from here, which is fantastic. So like I said, it really is going to change the way that I work, and I can't wait until, like I said, I get this down to muscle memory. It will be fantastic. But it really, for me, is going to be marvelous to work with this in Lightroom, particularly to cull through images, reject images very quickly, and also do it in Final Cut as well, be able to scroll backwards and forwards and edit that way using this as well. So really it's limitless, really up to your imagination on how you'd like to program this. As long as you've got quick keys and things like that, you can program it however you like and name them to your naming convention, which is fantastic as well, so you won't forget what each tool's for. So let me know what you think about this in the comment box down below. I'd love to know what you think about it. And I'll see you all soon in the next video. I will put the link down below. Apart from that, everyone, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.